Hey, and welcome to the Revenge of the Show. And if you haven't been here before, welcome. Like and subscribe, share, all that kind of stuff. And anyway, do you have the need for speed? Well, I went and saw Top Gun Maverick. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of this first off. Okay, so the director is Joseph Kosinski. He directed Oblivion. There's three screenwriters of this movie. There's Christopher McGuire. He's done Usual Suspects, Eric Warren something, and Chris Krausner right there. He's done Transformers, no big deal. That music is by Lady Gaga, Lorraine Belfay, and Hans Zimmer. So just three different music approaches to it. And it stars Tom Cruise, of course. It's produced by Tom Cruise and Miles Teller, who plays Goose's son in the movie, Jennifer Connelly, and John Hamm hamming it up. And then, of course, there is an appearance by one of the older people that was in the original movies. I don't know if I should tell you about it, but this person is in it, and he does a really good job. And I can't give it away. And so anyway, you'll get surprised by that. Jennifer Connelly, I love Jennifer Connelly. The story between Jennifer Connelly and Tom Cruise is really good. The story is really good. There's a lot of like Star Wars type stuff in it, but there's a lot of stuff that's bullshit. I mean, let's be honest. The first Top Gun, there's a lot of stuff that's bullshit in that. It's like, but the aerial photography is outstanding, and same with this, but I'll go on that a little bit more. But there's no Top Gun trophy or anything like that, and there's other stupid things that happen. But they do, I do miss the whole movie being with an F-14. F-14 was such a great airplane, and then later on, just going into airplane stuff, when the D model came out and they put those General Electric engines in them. I think it was General Electric, right? Those engines were far superior to the TF-30s, I think, that were in the original F-14, and there were some other things that they did with the later. I'm going on a tangent of airplanes. I like airplanes. Don't like this line, but I like airplanes. So in this movie, they shot 800 hours of footage for this movie. There's a 3-year gap between when the first trailer came out and when this finally came out. Tom Cruise said, I want this to be on the big screen because it needs to be seen on the big screen. I mean, this is, it's crazy good how nice looking this movie is. The aerial photography is done by Eric Dvorsky. And this guy, he has done, if you look at his IMDb list, it's like 157 movies or TV shows that this guy has shot. You name it, this guy has shot it. He's almost like the Clay Lacy of aerial photography. Then there's the cinematographer is Claudia Moranda, something like that, right here. Life of Pi, but the aerial photography is the thing that really makes this movie stand out. So the cameras that they used was what kind of cameras? Sonalta, Venice. Look at these lenses. We're all like Goose. Well, these cameras, they mounted 4 of them inside the cockpit, and they had to teach the actors how to turn them on, turn them off, and how to use them a little bit. I mean, they're pretty complicated cameras. They shoot in 6K. And they couldn't do it in 7K or 6K. Everything's dumbed down to 4K because the recorders for it that would record in RAW would take too much space inside the cockpit of the airplane. So they had to just, shoot in 4K inside the cockpit. But everything else is done with this camera. The aspect ratio is a little bit smaller than what real IMAX is. IMAX aspect ratio is 1.43 to 1, Some this is 1.5 to 1 or something like that. So it's a little bit different. The format, it's a, you know, true IMAX is truly amazing. And this is pretty damn close. There's only 6 cameras like this in the world that could shoot are IMAX certified. Aerial photography in this movie is outstanding. The story is really entertaining and good. As a matter of fact, there's some points of the movie where you know it gets almost emotional for me. I mean, I love the old Top Gun. You know, it's like, you know, we all like Goose and you stink. And they do a lot of callbacks to old stuff. You'll see a Porsche in the movie, if you know what I mean. They do a really nice job bringing back to what the other movie is. And, you know, it's fun. It's cool looking. You could take anybody to see this movie. I mean, you could take a kid to this movie. It's not overly violent, and there's not a lot of foul language in it. Hell, I don't even know if there's any foul language in the movie. So anybody could go see this movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And when Hans Zimmer, you know, when they get to these emotional points in the movie and you could hear Hans Zimmer's music going in it, it's like, man, that guy, he knows how to compose music for a movie. Out of 5 stars, I gotta give it 5 stars because I love airplanes. If you're just a movie lover, I don't know, you might give it 4. I'm very biased on this movie. I love airplanes, aircraft. The cinematography and the CGI is really outstanding in this movie. It's by 2 main studios, MPC Studios and then Method Studios. And they've done, like, you name it, they've done a real lot of movies like Guardians of the Galaxy. There's so many. They did a really outstanding job. The stuff that is CGI, it's almost hard to distinguish. It's like, is that CGI? There's stuff in the movie, it's like, it's, you know, like I said, there's some bullshit in the movie, but it's like, that stuff looks really good. And you'll like it. I mean, if you know anything about Star Wars Canyon, go to YouTube, look up videos of Star Wars Canyons, airplanes going through them. You'll see a lot of that in this movie. You know, F-18's pretty neat airplane. I'd rather fly the Growler type. That's probably a better airplane, but it's not the prettiest airplane in the world to me, but it's still pretty darn cool. I mean, this movie is cool. So that's my review. Like and subscribe, share this video, do all that kind of stuff. I know it's a little bit longer, but you know, I am for a review for a movie, but I really, really like this movie. Well, I think I've gone out long enough, and bye-bye. You can be my wingman any day.